Welcome back to Clubhouse Chronicles, the place where the Central Illinois music scene gets loud, proud, and unfiltered. I'm Twitt, your host with the most, ready to spin you the stories, the sounds, and the struggles behind the bands that are making waves right here in your backyard. Clubhouse Chronicles is the official podcast of Broken Record Music Club, your favorite independent record label, bringing you music for whatever you are going through. With that, let's buckle on up because this isn't just a podcast. It's your front row ticket to the heart of your indie music scene. And today, it's been a long time coming. Our guests today, we've been trying to get this interview all scheduled out. And the stars aligned suddenly, and we had to act. So I'm really glad to have this band sitting here with me, or at least some of the members of the band. They're a newer band coming out of Bloomington, and they've been getting really active. They've been playing a lot of shows, a lot of house shows, and it's coming off the heels of their first project that they put out back in March. I'm talking about Miley Cypress Hill. Welcome to the Clubhouse, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us, for real.
Absolutely. I want to kind of just start with your name, because before you even had music out, I saw your profile on Instagram, and I thought to myself, that's got to be the sickest name ever.
Hell yeah.
How did you guys come up with that? Like,
I mean, that one's all Jake, honestly.
We were at a show at the Rock Bottom when it was a venue.
R.I.P. Rock Bottom.
And I was pretty drunk, and I heard somebody screaming about Miley Cyrus, and I don't know why Cypress Hill came to mind, and then Miley Cypress Hill just came out of my mouth, and Ethan and I looked at each other, and we were like, "Oh yeah, that's the one. That's a heater."
Drunk brain just managed to mishmash it together in a way that felt right. And we had the original name for this project was Minds Roaming, and that's what we were kind of working off of at the time. And then I don't know, when I heard Jake say that, it was just like bing, like a light bulb went off in my head, and I was like, that's the band's name. That we're changing the band's name right now.
it can't be much better than that, right? Like, I don't know, there's like a creative process for all band names, but like, you hit the lottery, I think. This is
hell yeah.
Great. So I had someone say, I'm like, I think this is the sickest band name in the scene right now. And someone said, yeah, but should they worry about like copyright infringement?
Yeah, we've certainly had concerns about it, but also, I mean, guys like Carly Cosgrove or Michael Sarah Palin have been getting away with it for long enough that I'm kind of at a point where I'm like, where's the bill at with Miley Cypress Hill, Michael Sarah Palin, and Carly Cosgrove? Like, that is a dream come true right there.
Dream bill, top names. Well, let's kind of roll it back a little bit to the beginning. How did you guys all like kind of come together and get your start as a band?
I went to elementary school with Kevin. Jake was homeschooled, but I grew up across the street from him, and we've all, honestly, the three of us have been friends since probably we were like 6 or 7 years old. Max, our drummer, I went to high school with Max, and I know that Jake knew Max through some friends of a friend's.
Yeah.
And then our other guitarist, Nathan, we also went to high school with. So it's really no more than just like we all grew up around here, kind of were running around the same circles. How old were you when you picked up guitar?
I was 15 when I first started playing, and I'm 23 now.
So probably around like 15, Jake picked up the guitar, like 16-ish. We were kind of like messing around with some things here and there. I know that Nathan and Max and Jake had like done some kind of like offshoot jammy stuff when they were all kind of like starting with the instruments and stuff. I know Max has basically been like playing the drums probably as long as he could walk. His dad's a musician and stuff. So it was kind of just like, it just felt like it was what was necessary because we had already all been friends and we had kind of all had our hands in projects throughout the years. Kevin has been on and off SoundCloud with hip hop and R&B kind of stuff, and started to probably late 2019 was when that indie playlist really kicked off for you.
2020, 2022.
Yeah. Probably around like 2020, 2022, Kevin and I were kicking it really heavy, and he was kind of like making his way towards some sounds that I felt more like, hey, maybe we mess around with this. Maybe we see what, we could do if we all clashed heads together and finally like made a project out of it instead of it being like something that we jam on every now and again just to kind of like hang out and have fun with.
The long-standing friendship before getting into all this definitely helps like build a base, builds that like collaboration, and helps put out some killer music.
Oh, 10,000.
Yeah.
Kind of walk through how that creative process works with is there one person that contributes more than others, or is it really a group effort in how you guys are writing your music?
I don't want to talk too much, so y'all let me know if you want to jump in first.
I know for most of it, Jake usually comes up with the catchy riff,
Yeah, most
and
definitely.
he'll present it to the band and be like, hey, can you do something to this? And we'll just kind of improvise for a little bit until we find the right sound, and then structure the actual songs and placements. And then usually when we have that down, me and Talk will brainstorm on lyrics.
Yeah.
And we'll just bounce ideas off of each other mostly. So I mean, we all have our part in it.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
has
Yeah.
their hand in the pot.
Yeah.
It really does feel like it is a collective effort. I definitely agree with Kevin that it does tend to be Jake, you know, randomly on a Tuesday afternoon will send a clip of, you know, this shitty recorded iPhone at the bottom of his chin, and you see his guitar neck leaning over the camera, and it's like, oh, you know, like I think I like these chords together, or like, you know, I got a couple chords and maybe like a couple of lines, and then we'll take that into the practice space and kind of mess around with it, have fun with it. And that's really where things kind of start to take off from there, most definitely. I feel like since the EP came out, we've written probably like 7 songs just in 2025. And I feel like we've kind of hit our groove where we're comfortable with each other because we've known each other forever. Now we've been playing music together for almost 2 years in this project, and it feels like it's really easy for Jake to bring a couple chords or to have somebody say, you know, oh, I had this idea or I like this sound, and kind of just like mess around and vibe on it for like 30 minutes. And then before you know it, I mean, there have been days where we go down into the basement and start messing around on something, and we walk out with a full brand new song right then and there.
Yeah.
There's been times where we've kind of let stuff stew and kind of cooked on it a little bit. A lot of, especially through COVID, when this kind of all had started, it was a lot of like Snapchatting and messaging voice notes back and forth to each other and building off of that. And there's definitely still a layer of that too, but it really is magical and fun to just kind of sit down and have a small chord progression. And then you hear Max come in with some drums and you hear him kind of feel it out. And then Kevin kind of comes in and starts humming on the bass and messing around. And then Nathan just sprinkles himself on top ever so perfectly with just nice twinkly little bits. It's really fun, honestly. It's a lot of fun. I don't think that there's definitely a lot of thought put into it, but in the moment it feels more like feeling. There's a lot of feeling put into it as it's kind of coming together.
That makes sense. I mean, the music that you guys are putting out is there's a lot of emotion in it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the name alone of your EP, Just the Lake and Me All Alone, like that just, and then the cover art is just so like ominous, and it just feels like heavy.
Do you want to tell the cover art story
Oh, yeah.
and the album name story?
My grandpa was in the Navy, and he had some random person come take that picture of him when, I guess, I don't know if he had some free time or some shit, but he had somebody come take a picture of him, and that's his handwriting. And I found that picture when I was like, I want to say like 13 or 14. And I always thought it would be such a cool album cover, or like just anything musically cover. I thought it was pretty cool. And I was like, yeah, we should use that. And then I showed them and they were all game for it. So
That's so tough.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's sick. Like, how perfect is that? He was meant to find you and meant for this project.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So for those of you that haven't listened to Just the Lake and Me All Alone, it is a little 6-song EP, and it is like, once you get into it, it's a real nice listen, like all the way through, and it's capped off by Chew Me Up and Spit Me Out. I mean, the reaction from fans is that I hear more people talking about that song just in your live set.
Yeah.
Is that your guys' favorite song on the project, or do you guys have different favorites?
On that one specifically, I like Nonsensical the most, but they all have a special place in my heart.
What's your favorite off the EP?
I'd probably say Nonsensical too. Yeah.
Most fun.
If not then probably Chew Me Up, Spit Me Out.
Yeah, I think my personal favorite is probably Foster's Home for Imaginary Fiends. I think to this day that one's still one of my favorites that we've written. But I think that's also what was fun about putting out the project is like coming to a spot where everybody's like, oh, this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite. Like, I think we all have different favorites, which makes it really fun. And to you saying how nicely it plays all the way through, that was all Nathan. Nathan, our other guitarist who couldn't make it tonight, engineered it all himself, and
Put a lot of work into it.
No, put a lot of work into it. Check out Lot 4 Studios if you're looking to have somebody do some mixing and mastering stuff for you. He did a great job of making it feel like one cohesive piece, which I think was a big deal to a lot of us because we liked listening to albums all the way through to consume the music. So it's fun to sit down, pop it on, and feel like you're in for an experience instead of something to like cherry pick songs from to add to a playlist or to listen to as a one-off. It's a different experience when you let it ride out from beginning to end.
That's definitely one of my favorite parts about listening to albums is I'm always more of an album guy than a single guy. So
Yeah.
The whole, if you could tell like a nice cohesive story from top to bottom and just get me engaged like that, like,
Yeah.
oh, it just does something to my brain. It just feels good. Like it's just,
100%.
it's easier to connect for me with the music.
To your point about Chew Me Up, Spit Me Out, that one was one of those ones that we walked into the basement that day just intending on practicing, and Jake was like, hey, kind of like this chord progression, and the chemicals hit my brain just right at that time, and I was like, wait a minute, I can hear where I belong. I know where I belong in here. And then we left the basement that day having done no practice, but had written an entire song in probably like 2 hours.
It's crazy how fast stuff like that can come to people. Like
No,
just being in that mode. And you guys talked about how you guys have been writing a lot since. How has that creative process evolved? Because now, like you said, you are in a groove of things, and you now you have the capability of any day could be the day that you write a song.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a different mentality that you take now versus like, let's just say before the EP?
Yeah,
I think now we're definitely, if somebody's coming up with something or if they're just kind of jamming at practice, we'll let it go through and see if we find something that we like. When we were first getting together and stuff, we kind of had stuff written out that we were trying to do and we would go with the flow kind of thing. But now every time we go to practice, somebody might start a little lick, or Max will play something on the drums, and then, or Kev does it a lot where he'll just start playing a fucking cool bass line, and then everybody will jump in on it and see if we like what's going on.
Yeah.
It's basically what Jake said. Yeah, I don't really see anything different. I think we've always had like a really good chemistry when it comes to just playing flat out. Honestly, when we're just improvising, they could honestly be put out to be full songs. That's how good we are.
I think really the only thing that I feel like has changed is I think we just kind of have a better understanding on kind of like what it means to write a song, where some of those like endless jams or like over fixation on like a certain chord progression would kind of just trail off into nothing. Now that we have the chemistry and the comfortability and we've done it, I think that we've learned and kind of know like, oh, okay, wait, there's something here. Oh, whether it comes down to like A, B, A, or, working in like, oh no, this is the chorus, like I can feel that, play that again. Like I think that we're just kind of better about communicating overall in the moment of kind of coming up with something. And I also think that because we have done it now, it's not so daunting and we have more knowledge than we did before.
I love hearing how the creative progression and how it changes. Like with the artists that I work with, so like Jenny, for example.
Yeah.
I've seen her grow over the past 2 years and how her creative process has kind of like come together. And now she's writing all the time. So she just sends me a bunch of demos, but it's just like, damn, like I don't have this ability. So for me, it's like, wow, this is really cool to like just hear about everyone's different perspective. So you brought up this new music that you've been working on. Can we expect another project this year, or do we have stuff on the horizon for?
Definitely have some stuff on the horizon. We just went up to Chicago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, visited DZ Records up there. Was super cool.
Very
Recorded
nice.
Very, very nice. Awesome dude. Gave us great advice and did a great recording. I'm really excited to see how everything came together. As of right now, I'd say probably no albums or EPs, but definitely some singles. We recorded 3 singles up there, and I know that we're kind of itching to get back into the swing of things, but also with the way that just me and the lake getting recorded came along, it was very much like luck and in the moment thing. So that project did kind of get rushed a little bit towards the end. The first track off of it, This Town Has Legs, I wrote the second verse for that song the day that I went to track the vocals, just because we were skimpy on time, and it was kind of like, hey, you can go record, this is how it's going to happen, but it's got to be now. So we did kind of have to fumble a little bit with the last 2 songs to pull everything together. And I don't want to rush this new stuff. There's some things that I'm like, I want to give us time to cook on it. I want to keep playing it and feeling it out and tweaking things here and there. But definitely some singles will be out before the summer is over.
You heard it here first, folks. New Miley Cypress Hill is on the way soon.
Hell yeah, it is.
Just in time for summer. Perfect time to roll down the window and just blare it. That's the kind of feeling I get when I listen to Lake. It's a solid project. Well, we kind of went through my questions relatively quick, but I always ask these final 2 questions just to pretty much everyone that comes on, and more about the scene in general, because you guys are a part of a crazy awesome scene with a lot of talented people. I like to start with, what's your favorite part of the Central Illinois music scene?
Well, for me, I'm a big music guy. So my favorite part is discovering new bands, discovering new sounds. I've come across a lot in the past year and a half, I'd say. Yeah, honestly, it's just, I like working. I have like social anxiety, so I don't like to really talk to a lot of people, but I love to observe and listen. So yeah, that's about.
I like all the various genres that come from Bloomington Normal. Like, you can go to a show and you can hear some noise, like noise band shit, or you can get somebody who's making some Midwest emo or some hard rock. You can get some scrams music. There's all types of genres coming out of Bloomington Normal, which I think is really cool. And it's pretty inclusive. Everybody's welcome. Nobody's an asshole, really. I haven't really encountered anybody who's too much of a dickhead.
Yeah, for sure. I think these 2 definitely ride the social anxiety wave a little bit more than I do. I mean, obviously, I'm an art lover, so any opportunity that I have to consume anybody's art, whether it's the kick-ass people who are making super weird and freaky flyers for these wonky little shows, to hearing like really cool bands, or you get lucky and pop out to one that may have like some vendors selling like clothes or buttons and shit like that, I think is super cool. But for me, it's definitely the people, definitely just like being able to talk to people, interact with people. We've all lived in Bloomington our whole lives. And I know that my experience is a little bit different than these 2 experiences, but like I always felt out of place here. I always felt not necessarily like I fit in one spot or another. And I can like vividly remember the first house show that I ever rolled up on. I could just see the people in the yard, and I was like, that's definitely where I need to be parking. And I think that I've like found my place in this town, which was really cool and like eye-opening. It's nice to feel like I'm not being judged, because I may not be as socially awkward, but I certainly feel awkward in my own skin. So it's nice to be around other people that I know are into the same shit, because it makes them easier to talk to.
100% agree with you. Like, I think a good example is Bridget Land's birthday party is where I saw Ethan, and we had been messaging about doing an interview, and we like joked that we're going to get it eventually.
Yeah.
But that whole environment, like, that is like exactly what you described, like just a cool, like, huge group of people, bunch of vendors there, and it's just everyone embracing the music and getting along. And it was, you just felt like you belonged no matter where you came from.
I think that it's hard to feel out of place when you approach a yard that is pretty evenly split between like goth people and like hippie people. And with Bridget's birthday too, I mean, you've got the goth people, you've got the hippy dippy people, you have the, maybe people who don't express themselves as outwardly with clothing. You've got, old heads there. Like, you've got people that you just would not expect to see there. But everybody's in the same space, and you don't feel like you're being judged. You feel like you can be whoever the fuck you want to be, which is awesome.
And that's probably why it's the number one answer that I get from people, is that the people are just so kick-ass and accepting that it makes it the scene what it is. So this final question can be tough. Who is your current favorite artist or band in the Central Illinois music scene? And you can pick more than one. You don't have to just pick one. I know a lot of people like to list a couple.
Mine, I'd say in Central Illinois, it'd probably be Old Coke from Chicago. We saw them live recently, and ever since that day, there hasn't been a day where I haven't listened to them, honestly. They've taken over my mind. The Occasion's really good. They're from Bloomington as well.
Definitely doing cool shit over there with the Occasion,
yeah,
for sure.
We've had a couple bills with them.
Oh yeah, they're
cool,
sweet guys.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, the Occasion and Monarch, they're all really nice people. They're all real sweeties, so we like them.
Had the beautiful opportunity to be on a couple of bills with both of those. Monarch is definitely one that I have found myself jamming. I think that out of everybody, for me, there's two specific projects that I've probably spent the most time with. The first one is Marble Teeth. That was the first house show that I ever went to. I walked in and he was already playing. And Caleb is just such a cool ass guy. It was my first house show, but I still felt like I was able to approach him. I had a really cool conversation with him. I love the tunes that he makes. I know that he pulls a lot of inspiration from other artists that I really enjoy, like Slaughter Beach Dog and guys that are kind of in that vein, which is funny because my second answer is kind of polar opposite of that. I absolutely fucking love Bum Rush. Bum Rush is so fucking sick. I remember the first time that I heard them play live, I was like, oh my fucking God. I'm not a mosh pit guy at all. The mosh pit terrifies the fuck out of me. I'll hold your glasses, I'll hold your liquor, I'll stand on the wall and you can go in and have fun, but I'm hiding. But when I saw Bum Rush play live for the first time, I was like, what is this burning in my chest? I feel like I want to hop in the pit a little bit, guys. This is weird. So I would say those two are definitely the ones that have gotten the most replay time out of me. They're super fucking incredible music and also just dope people.
Fortunately, we had Caleb on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just sitting down with him for his interview. He's just such a cool guy. After we stopped recording, we stayed on the phone for another half hour when we were just talking about music. And it's just the kind of guy he is, man. He's just a cool dude. So shout out to Caleb. Shout out to he's got a new project coming out next week or this weekend.
Who's baby?
Yeah. It's gonna be killer. So listen to that. Listen to our past guest music, please. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Looks like that's the end. We made it to the end. We got through everything. We did it. The stars aligned. We got together and we did the damn thing.
Oh yeah, it took us long enough.
Yeah.
But thank you three so much for getting on here, sharing with us the story behind Miley Cypress Hill and your progress so far. I'm so excited to hear the new music, and I'm sure everyone is as well. Be sure to keep up with Miley Cypress Hill on Instagram at Miley Cypress Hill. It's spelled exactly how you think it is. Miley, Miley, Cypress Hill, like the band Cypress Hill.
Yeah, and quick shout out too. We do have tapes up online over at Good Morning Ghost Records. Go check them out on Instagram as well. They did a limited edition print of the first EP. So if you like the EP enough that you want to get your hands on a physical copy of it, hit them up. They should still have some online.
These cassettes are really cool, guys.
Dope. Everything came together well. Huge shout out to Kai from Terrible Happy and Fujiko on all of that shit, because he approached us with the idea of it, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's fucking do it. This is super cool, and I know that we're all really happy with how it turned out. It was a huge honor for sure to be a part of that first drop of tapes.
Yeah, FEP. She showed me on our interview. I think I don't know if I cut it or not, but it was really cool. The full artwork, how it folded out, and it was so well put together. Shout out to Kai. He does really great work. We'll put it in the show notes too. Whatever. You can find Miley Cypress Hill on YouTube as well at Miley Cypress Hill. It's spelled the same exact way. Yeah. And all the links to their music, their EP is going to be in the show notes. So just go down and click those links, and you can listen to Just the Lake and Me all alone. Check out that cool artwork because it sets the tone.
The YouTube page. Sorry, I know that you're wrapping it up, but I keep having things come to mind. The YouTube page does have a music video up on it for a demo version of one of the songs that's on the EP. We got really lucky, got to go up into an abandoned part of the mall and film up there. And the music video is really sick, just literally in like a wasteland abandoned Macy's. It's super fucking dope. So definitely check that out on the YouTube.
Do it. You heard it. Go do it. Links are going to be below. So go click that and you will find all this cool shit that they've been talking about. They're doing a lot of really cool stuff. So hopefully you guys stay tuned and be ready for the singles that are going to drop before the end of the summer. But just like that, that's our show. You've been hanging out with Clubhouse Chronicles, where the sounds are hot, the stories are hotter, and the vibes absolutely off the charts.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget, hit us up at our new spot on Instagram at ClubChronPod for all the updates, news, and more on this podcast. Guys, just go there. Like you guys were liking all the clips on Broken Record Music Club. They are all over there on that account. So it'll be in the description. So just go follow it on Instagram, and you'll get all the updates on the pod. You'll see who the guests are every week. We do lists of all the new releases in Central Illinois and beyond for you guys to stay updated on your favorite bands and potentially hear some killer music that is coming out of Illinois in general. For all things Broken Record Music Club related, we're still over at Broken Record Music Club across all socials for you to check out our artists and other cool things we're up to. They mentioned Monarch. They just announced their single Clay Brain coming out July 11th. Be ready for it. It's a banger. You could go and pre-save that. We also have content always coming up with Jenny and Motus Band as they work on their projects that will be coming out next year. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you guys. There's like 25 of you. We love all 25 of you very much. But if you're out there watching, if you could subscribe, it would really help the channel. And not only would it help the channel, but it helps spread the word about Miley Cypress Hill and all the other bands that we feature so that they can get discovered, they can get eyes on them and get people listening to their music. So please do that if you feel so inclined. Until next time, keep it loud, keep it proud, and remember, Central Illinois is where the music magic happens. Peace.
Oh yeah.